Hey you guys, welcome back. It's Amy Gretchen. In this Project Life video, I'm working on week 44 from 2017. So this week actually includes a weekend away that I was able to get with a few friends. So part of the week was all about Halloween. You can see that I have some costumes in there. And then the other part of the week was when I was with some friends and I was able actually to have some time going out and just kind of taking pictures of the remnants of fall. So we were kind of up closer in the mountains. So the fall has been, I don't want to say done, but definitely the leaves have been gone for quite a while now. But it was really lovely to be able to be up there and just have some time, but also have a chance to take pictures. One of my all-time favorite things. So you can see that I have laid out my photos, and among some of the photos that I printed, I actually printed on photo paper some elements from Paisley Press's kit called Spellbound. It's actually an older kit. I can't remember which year. I'm going to guess maybe 2015. It could have been last year, but I'm thinking it was even farther away than that. It could have been 2015. So it was just a great Halloween kit, and I didn't really have any other like Halloween-y type stuff. I think, you know, in October Studio Calico kit really looked like a lot of, like there was nothing really that was based on the holiday if I can remember, but I think I have seen that they came out with like some holiday or some Halloween cards. And so it looks like that they did not necessarily include that in their kit, which is great because not everyone celebrates that holiday, right? But I did have some digital stuff. So you can see that card there and that little banner. They both came from that kit. Then that card there that I'm holding that's got like the splash of black, I just pulled that out from my stash. I believe that came from Studio Calico. I thought that it was kind of a really cool, like, Halloween-y type feel. So that's the reason why I pulled it out. I thought it would go well with this week. The card that says, "Here's the story," that came from Allie Edwards, one of her story kits. It was a pad. You've seen me probably use it in the past. I really like this pad. I enjoy having pads that you can just grab to. And like I've said before, I think the last time I used it, I'm never afraid of repeating those types of things. So definitely, you know, you've got a pad of paper, definitely start using it up. So I'm looking at, so when I put and use that card right there that says "Do your best," I used the other side of it. And I wrote a little note on it that said, told a story about what I wanted to tell, you know, with that card. And I was thinking that I'd have another card next to it, but I didn't have enough space. So what I decided to do instead was I took that stamp set, and this is from Allie Edwards' story stamp set, Best, and I decided to just get the stamp that says "Do your best," so it mimics the card. And then I'm just going to write a little bit of journaling there that I wanted to write. It was all about my daughter, who's been working really hard to she auditioned for Concerto Night, and she's been working really hard for that. It turns out she got in and she made it, which is awesome. But she had auditioned, I think, that weekend. So I was able to talk to her on the phone about how that went. But, you know, she spent a lot of time practicing herself and then practicing for other people because, you know, you definitely have nerves going in front of judges, right? So I just wanted to write a little bit about doing your best there. You can see that there I go to writing the journaling there. So it was kind of nice, instead of using the card, that there was a stamp that I could use from that as well. So I think I'm going to do a little bit more journaling here. I grabbed, here's the story, and this is all about my weekend away. And so instead of just doing one date, I decided to do two. So the second was Thursday through Sunday, and it was only partial Sunday, but you know, I just wanted to be able to tell that story there. And instead of actually doing the journaling there, I waited. And the reason why is because, and I should have waited to do the dates afterwards, but that date stamp, or excuse me, that ink, that black ink is a pigment ink, and it takes a couple minutes for it to dry. And if I were to have written my journaling, I definitely would have smeared it. So that's why I set it off to the side. and decided to move on to something else. So you saw that I had a picture that said Stranger Things 2, and I wanted to write about that story there. But I also had this photo of my daughter with her friends, and it was all about her. This was like after her dance concert. And I thought, you know, do I want to talk about Stranger Things, or do I want to have this picture of my daughter and her friends? And ultimately, I decided to go with the picture of my daughter and her friends, and that I could have Stranger Things. Probably I do the chat books that are from Instagram, so I can definitely tell that story there, which is why I decided to go ahead with that photo of my daughter, because I think in years, like in 10 years from now, I'd rather see that photo than the one of Stranger Things. You know what I mean? So that's why I decided to go with that. All right, so I'm making some decisions here. That most original also came with the Spellbound from Paisley Press. And I really wanted that flag, or whatever you'd call it, that banner, to be on the other side. But that's just the way that digital product was. And so I decided to just go ahead and stick it above my daughter's head, even though I kind of wanted it on the other side because there was a little bit more space. So I just decided to go with it, and I stapled it down. And you can see that I'm moving some things around. I often do that, but that I was really debating between which photo I wanted to be my title. So that's why I kept going back and forth. I was looking like which one would be better for, you know, putting down the date. And I don't know. I continue to go back and forth, I think, the whole time. You'll see which one I decide in the end. I won't spoil it for you. All right. So this card, I kept looking at this black and white striped card, and what it came down to is I thought it would make a really great journaling card. So instead of trying to handwrite it or just having that as like a decorative card, I decided to write some journaling in the white space. So I just pulled over that card into Photoshop and then added some journaling right on it. Then I also, that orange Halloween that also came in that kit as well, and printed that out so that I could just staple it or right along with it. Now I end up reprinting this card again just because I thought the font was a little too big. You can see when I printed that, I also printed the most original on the other side, but I decided after all I really liked where it was at, and then I printed a couple more elements that I'm just going to stick on some photos. So I liked, you know, I don't always use digital kits, but it's kind of nice to have the flexibility of printing more if you need to print more, or, you know, changing the color, because you can also change the color as well. All right, so you can see that I'm swapping those photos, and I think that that photo was just a little bit darker. And also I liked the other photo a little bit better, and I wanted you to be able to see it without it being obstructed. So that's why, another reason why I decided to go with the November there. So now I have one more 3x4 card that I'm trying to fill, and you can see that I was testing out one, and I was looking for my October kit because I thought maybe there'd be some cards there from Studio Calico. And I saw that one. And one of the reasons why I really liked it was primarily just the color. The color green I thought went really well with this week. And then I saw these Jasmine Jones, these word phrases stickers, and I loved these when I used them before. And I just think the font is a lot of fun and that it would work really well in this situation. Of course, I always have a harder time when it's stickers and you have to stick them down and make a final decision, right? You can see that I kind of have them not all the way pushed down because I'm still trying to decide if this is the direction I want to go with this ampersand card. So I just kind of kept looking at the phrases and trying to decide. So there's a lot of fall phrases, and as I was looking through them, I thought that it would be a really great way to another sort of a journaling card about my weekend. So I kind of pulled some of the word phrases that went really well. So I think one of them was autumn, one was laughter, another one was cozy. And so it was just a lot of fall words that I thought went really well with the weekend that I just was able to have with some of my friends. So those are the reasons why I chose some of those words, and I thought that they went really well. You can see that I also added another, you know, sticker on the photo in the top right. You saw me do that. So I was just kind of looking around also with this ampersand card, but I was also looking around and seeing if there's any more that I wanted to add on the remainder of this spread. So I don't think there was, and I decided the last thing that I needed to do, because I was just about finished, was to do the date stamp. So I decided to choose white because the bottom of that photo was darker, which, like I said, was one of the reasons why I chose it. And so you can see that I'm just stamping it out. So it's not obviously as bright as if maybe I had embossed it. You can't emboss on photos. You know what? Actually, I've never actually tried it, but that's my opinion. So maybe I should try it one time to see if it actually works. But I have a feeling it might melt the ink. So I don't know. I should try it though, just as an experiment. So maybe I'll do that with December Daily. But anyway, back to this spread. So I just adhered that November to the photo, and I am completely finished with this spread. Thank you guys so much for being here with me. I know that your time is limited, so I totally appreciate when you choose to watch my channel. Hopefully you guys were able to get some inspiration from this one. If you did and you like what you saw, please give this video a thumbs up. All right, you guys, we will catch you in the next one. Bye.